Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Faith and this is my first sit down video. You can see by the title on the topic is how to level up in your 20s. Yes guys, I know you people will be wondering like, oh, what is shit to talk about how to level up? She doesn't even have this, she doesn't really have that. Guys, I'm not even exaggerating, guys. I feel like I'm at the stage whereby I have knowledge, I can still, share my experience. It's not necessarily about what you have or what not. I have made some mistake in the past which I know I can come on here and say this and probably you guys can get something out of it. So guys, I'll be giving 4 points on how to level up in your 20s. So if this is the video you want to watch, keep on. So guys, tip number 1 is dating experience. Yeah, in your 20s you feel, oh, I want to get married before I get to 30. I want to get married now so I can have my children now, so I can slay with my children and with my husband, blah 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 blah. Sis, no. I mean, yes, marriage will come right at the right time, but don't force yourself, don't push yourself into something that you don't really have knowledge about it that much at that point in your 20s, right? Because by the time you practically want to rush into the marriage, since you're going to rush out, and by the time that you realize yourself, you already lost some things, some important things in which in your mind you will live, like, I wouldn't say like you live to regret, but then like you have some things in which you feel like, oh my gosh, I wish I didn't force myself to do this, and this is the result of my action. You actually feel bad because it won't go as planned as you think it will, right? So what I'm trying to say now is that in your 20s, that is when you are trying to, that is when you want to know yourself. That is when you want to realize yourself. That is when you want to work on yourself, right? Just focus more on how to build yourself, focus more on how to know yourself first, because in your 20s you're still very much naive. I wouldn't say like practically naive, right? But then again, you are still very, very much naive, and you don't need the thought of marriage at that point. What you need is how to know yourself more, get a lot of knowledge before trying to think about I want to get married. Your 20s about dating is your 20s is when you actually want to get to know yourself more and love yourself. Like, most importantly, love yourself. Don't in your mind and say, oh, I want to get married, blah. I've said that earlier, but I'm still bringing it up here so it will stick in your head. Anyways guys, I'm not a relationship expert or whatever. I am only sharing my own experience, right? Not really experience per se, but then yeah, just take. So tip number 2 is your finances. Yeah, everyone come from a different background, right? Everyone come from a background whereby they have their future is already been planned out for them. Your case or my case might not be the same, right? Your 20s is when you actually want to cultivate the habit of putting yourself in a financially independent way, if that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, so your 20s is when you want to have the idea of how to balance your future financially wise, being independent on your own self, how to grow and make money. Like, I'm not putting no pressure, right? But then that is when you want to focus on how to if it's you want to get skills, or you want to do business, or you want to basically just trying to get yourself financially stable, independent wise, so as to keep your future, so as to guarantee your future. Maybe when you get to your 30s, oh, okay, fine, I worked very hard for this, and in my 30s I know I'm not going to be struggling no more, or want to be waiting for one guy to give you money. If the guy doesn't give you money, you can't feel. If the guy doesn't give you money, you can't buy this. You know, your 20s, focus more on how to make yourself grow. Focus on how you want to, you know, make yourself financially okay, right? You see those bags, those Gucci bags, those Bond Street Air that you see your faves wearing, that you see your friends wearing. Sis, those time will come when you have those things in abundance. But for now, in your 20s, focus more on how to, you know, save. Focus more on how to, you know, work. Lavish money in your 20s and be like, oh, I better let me enjoy my life before life chop you or whatever. But sis, you're still in this life. Do you get? Just, you know, just make yourself financially stable in your 20s. That is your main focus. That is what you should focus on before anything else. Because by the time you make yourself financially okay now in your 20s, I kid you not, in your 30s, there is no way how you are going to suffer. There's no way how you are going to, you know, be dependent on any man. If the man doesn't give you money, you won't be able to feed. If the man doesn't give you this, you won't be able to, you know, get some certain things a lady wants, right? So focus more on making yourself financially okay now in your 20s before any other thing. If it is skills that you want to learn, do it now. If it is whatever thing that you, if it's business or whatever thing that you want to be doing, do it now. So let's jump right into tip number. Okay, the third thing I'm going to be talking about is learning. In your 20s, that is when, you know, different, you know, circumstances, you know, different, you know, you'll be hearing some whispering. That was talking. Yeah, whatever. You know, you have to, in your 20s, you need to focus on how to learn. You see those things that they say, what an elderly man or woman sit down to see. Even you, that you're not, I don't even know how they said that, but if you know, please comment down in the comment section. You know, that is actually true. You have to learn. Listen to people, listen to advice, listen to people that are older than you. You know, in your 20s, that is when, you know, a lot of us have so much bad attitude. I said a lot, not all, right? You know, they have so much bad attitude. You have to know that you're not going to be 20 forever. You're not going to be in your 20s forever. You know, time go by so fast, in which you just sit and record and say, oh my gosh, like just like that, I'm in my 30s, just like that, I'm 25, you know, just like that. So you have to cultivate the habit of learning. Learn from people. Learn. Don't say, oh, I beg, what does she, I beg, you know. So in a nutshell, what I practically said about number 3, learning, is, yeah, just, you know, relax, learn from people. Yeah, so I'm still going to include learning skills, you know, try to put yourself together to, you know, build your future for yourself. You're doing this for yourself, so you're not doing it for me. I'm basically just saying some things I know that it is actually right? So I don't know, please ignore these sounds on the background. Like, I just have to share this here because I'm in my shop and I don't really have time in the house to make this video. So this time that I add now, I just want to, you know, do it and put it up there. Like, yeah, this is just me. I don't fake what I'm not. I'm just like this. I'm just me. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. So jump right to number 4. So number 4 is friendship. Yeah, this is the most important one in my list because I can sit down for hours and talk about friendship. Oh my gosh, I can sit down for hours and basically talk about friendship because, guys, you know, there are a lot of bad influence, you know, friends in which you meet in your 20s. You know, you just have to be very, 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 very careful on the kind of company you keep as a lady, because, you know, in your 20s you feel like, oh, I want to have more girls friends and whatnot. You might have bad influence, you might have good friends, you can have bad, but sis, what I would advise you is be on your own. Don't, if possible, you don't need friends, you don't even need them at that point in time. I know you'll be like, oh, what is she saying? Yeah, oh, who said she doesn't? Who said I don't need friends? Blah blah blah. You know, sis, you can have friends, but then just use your head, because friend will really do you dirty in your 20s. I mean, in your 20s, you don't even need. I'm saying this, you don't need friends, because they are going to put you in a trap in which you cannot bring yourself out of it. Okay, so this brings us to the number one. I think number 3, know yourself. Getting to, you know, that time that you want to use to talk, make friends, do this, do that, focus it on how to make more money in your 20s. Focus on how to make more money in your friends are just going to, you know, lead you to somewhere. You know, they say friends will carry you to where you don't even know. Let me just keep it short and simple. In your 20s, you will have toxic relationship with friends, so you just have to stay off friends. I don't want this video to be that long, so please, if you watch up to this point, please don't forget to like this video, share this video if possible, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Faith. If you're seeing this face for the first time,